Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you want to learn how to do a basic makeup routine, or if you are a beginner and you just want to know how to do your makeup step by step, then please keep on watching. Okay, so first up is primer. I use the basic Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. It's a silicone based primer. I just put that on my fingers, dab that in, put it all over my skin and just dab that in. Make sure to be very gentle, and it's a really affordable primer. It's lasted me quite a while because you only need a little bit, and I only use it on my T-zone. My T-zone next to my nose and on my chin, which is where my pores are most prominent. Next up, we are going into foundation. Again, I have oily skin, so I use the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. It's a full coverage matte. I do this all the time, but it's a matte foundation. It doesn't feel, oh dear Lord, okay. It doesn't feel matte to me. So this foundation, I've been dotting on my skin. You can use a beauty blender or a beauty sponge. I don't have a beauty blender. Beauty blender is a brand, but I use a beauty sponge sometimes. But for today's video, I'll be using a brush just to mix things up on my channel. Yeah, if it's your preference to use a sponge, then use a sponge. I think if you are starting out with makeup, it's easier to use a sponge than a brush. It took me a hot minute to learn how to properly use a brush, and that's like complete honesty. It took me a minute until like someone actually taught me how to do that properly. Okay, so with my brush, I'm going to be, is it stippling? Yeah, I'm going to stipple the foundation into my skin, and stippling is basically just this. Just gently pushing that into the primer that we just applied, going around the mouth area, the chin area. Just take your time, you don't want to have any streaks. And then after this, we'll just buff the foundation in so that there isn't any separation and clear indication that you have foundation on. Let me see this on camera. So I have quite a few marks, but I'm not going to be going into color correcting and all those things today because I feel like that would just elongate the video, and I'll do an entirely different video if you want me to do a video on that. So just working that in. You may have noticed I didn't put foundation on my nose, but I typically just use the excess on the brush to cover my nose because my nose has been flaking recently. The skin on my nose, not from the foundation, the skin on my nose has been flaking recently, and I'm positive it's because of the weather changes here in Cape Town. I don't understand what is happening, but yeah, my nose has been flaky and it's not a vibe. So for my forehead, I like to just go in circles, basically just buffing it in to my forehead. Make sure you go up until your hairline so that, you know, it's not a weird cast of foundation, and then you can see your true skin color. So just going in to my skin, making sure everything is in. You are one color now, and that's basically what foundation does. It evens out your skin tone. It gives you a more clear canvas to work on with regards to your contour, your blush, your bronzer, everything else you want to put on top. It gives you a blank canvas to work from, and I really like that because I do have scars. I don't have redness, but I get hot and then I'm red and I can't exactly just go in with concealer because throughout the day I get hot and my cheeks are really red, and then you can see like where my skin starts and where the makeup ends. So now that your foundation is in, just gonna put things to the side. I'm going to be going in with this concealer, which is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. This too I've had for a while now. It is 62 Rand at Discount. Yes, I'm one of those people that actually memorizes the prices of the makeup things, especially when I buy makeup. I make a list in my head of the price so that I know that next time I want to buy something I can budget for it. And yeah, and I'm always at Discount, so it pays to know the prices. So just dotting that everywhere I want some brightness. This concealer is peachy. It has a peach undertone. I have a yellow undertone, but for my under eyes I sometimes just use this to brighten the area, using this excess product because I used a lot over there, and then sweeping that on top of my lid. This is just to help prevent wasting product, because normally I just put some over here and then put some over here and then go back and forth, but then it's normally too much concealer for me and I end up finishing the product way sooner than I should. Okay, so going into powder, I use the Yardley Absolute Translucent powder. I've had this powder for more than a year and we haven't, no I have, I've almost hit halfway. This powder at the time for me was very expensive. It was 180 Rand. Well, it's still expensive to me now. I don't know why I said at the time. It's 180 Rand or 190 Rand, almost 200 Rand for powder. At the time it was the most hyped about drugstore powder, and I bought it because all the makeup artists that I follow on social media were raving about it, and I was like, if they have it, I have to have it. And I got it, and yeah, it is all that it's cracked up to be. So I've been using it ever since, and I use it on clients, friends, family members. Yeah, so I really like this powder and it works well for me. So while I was talking, I normally just put powder on my lid and then run that across the areas where I put concealer. So my nose, my lids, and my under eyes. I put some concealer on my forehead and then here on my chin, and I normally just swivel the excess product in the lid and then just run that across my face. So a trick that I like to do is whatever excess product I have on my brush, I like to swivel it around in the lid to get the excess off. So there's the excess. And then I'll just swivel that around my face and my forehead, everything that I want set. I don't go in heavy with powder. Something I love doing is contouring. So I picked up this Makeup Revolution Ultra Contour Palette from Clicks a few months back. This was, I want to say, between 150 to 160 Rand. Oh my god, my nail. Almost broke my nail. And these are my real nails, so you know it's gonna hurt when it breaks. This palette looks like a mess. It has a whole bunch of contour shades. Oh my god, my camera. It has a whole bunch of contour shades over here. 2 highlighters, a peach pressed powder, yellow pressed powder, and this one is also kind of peachy over here. So with this brush, you don't have to use the specific brush, but I do because I like it. So I go on the bone and I just kind of blend that in to my hairline and I bring it down. I hope you can see that on camera. And I swirl it around and just create that definition of where the shadow. So with blush and bronzer, those are nice contrasts to your contour. That's just going to give that warmth and life to your skin. I like to go into my hairline over here, so you can pull back your hair. Pull it back. Pull back your hair, get it in there. Make sure you go on the perimeters of your face. You don't have to do this with contour. You can do this with bronzer, which a lot of people like to do. I just want my forehead to look a little smaller. Probably guessed why. I like to go on my chin and the sides of my chin, and I put bronzer on my chin as well, but I put some over here because I have a double chin, and I go circular motions in this region because I want some extra definition over here, and then do the same thing on the other side. Just run that along my jawline, do circular motions towards my chin to disperse that color. And then for my nose, I'm gonna use a different brush. So I'm gonna use this fluffy situation, tap the excess off, and then just go alongside my nose up until my brow, and just blend all the way to my brow to make sure that my nose looks like it's mine. Going into the other side. Okay, so with contouring your nose, how do I explain this? Okay, so with contouring your nose, what you want to do is go against the bone right there and just use a little bit of product. You don't want to go in with too much product and then have to go in and fix it. So what I like to do is just work really slowly and build the nose that I want. What I like to do is go right here to create a shadow right here to make my nose look a little shorter. May not seem like much of a difference if you have been watching this video and you're like, girl, I don't see a difference in your nose, but I see the difference in pictures, so that's what I've been liking. Okay, so disclaimer, these two products, the bronzer and the blush, I won in a giveaway last year. So they are the only bronzers and blush that I have in my possession, and I only have them because I won. If I didn't have them, I most probably would have bought a blush and contour palette, a blush and bronzer palette from Makeup Revolution, because they are the most affordable when it comes to like a big palette with different colors and things. So yeah, I don't really have recommendations for other bronzers or blushes, but I know they are really good drugstore bronzers and blushes that you can get at Clicks and Discount. Obviously do your research before you buy anything. But yeah, so with bronzer, I like to start at the back in circular motion and then bring it towards my cheeks. The reason why I start at the back is so that whatever harshness there is on the brush, if I put too much product on, I can just disperse it here at the back, and ain't nobody gonna see because I will release my hair, you know. Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you see the difference? So just blending that out, making sure. So once I can get this open, so there is like a neon pink situation happening in this blush. I usually just go for these shades over here, which is kind of like I want to say muted pink, but it's not a muted pink. It's like a brownish pink and then a lighter pink, and then you do this. You can smile, but I'm not really a smiley person. So again, halfway, I'm gonna bring that to the cheeks and blend it and go back and forth and back and forth to just get that color in them cheeks. So okay, so now for the part that we've all been waiting for, is for me to do my brows. So my brow pencil is also from Makeup Revolution. I think it was 130 rand, and I've had it for a couple of months. So yeah, at first I didn't know how to use this pencil because it is wax based, and it really confused me because I saw other people using it and they were pressing so hard, and I was like, okay, that's how I do it, but then I couldn't blend it So I learned some tricks and let me show you. So what you want to do with any wax-based brow pencil, you just want to use very light and gentle strokes to kind of shape your brow so you know where your brow needs to end. So I like to start here and then draw the line under and then kind of connect the dots on top. You can draw it and then you can make the lines and then blend it. It's not an issue. I normally draw a line, blend, draw a line, blend, draw a line, blend, which takes a lot of time, but this is how I was taught how to do brows. I actually need the mirror here. So draw the lines, use this little spoolie that's attached at the end. Okay, so for the front, this is by far not my perfect brow, but it's a basic brow and we're trying to keep this video very basic. So for the front of my brow, I like to do this. So I draw a line across and then I take it on the flat side and then I do this. I do 3 really hard, harsh lines and then I take the spoolie and I kind of brush that through the front, because the front of my brows are very sparse, like it's very abandoned in the front, you know, like all the brow hairs just left the party. So I like to do that for the front of my brows and then work really gently to run that through and blend it out. This line on top is a bit too much, so you can take your foundation brush and just push that down, and if that doesn't work, just use your finger and just... So can you see that difference? Do you see more definition over here, over here towards the end, and then on this side, sparsity? So I'm gonna go off camera, finish the other brow, come back, and we'll go right into eyeshadow. Okay, so now that your brows are done and they are semi-decent looking, like mine, I'm going to go into eyeshadow, which you may have been looking forward to. I don't know. My palette is so dirty. Jeez. I never thought that I'd be one of those people whose palettes would be this dirty, just covered in eyeshadow. But I am, apparently. So I'm going in with my Morphe palette. And this is the Morphe 35O palette. Still in the old palette. So just to keep this video very simple, I'm going to go in with this shade over here, which is like it's not a cool tone brown, it's like a neutral brown shade. It doesn't have any particular, oh, it's kind of warm, I don't know. So I'm just going to tap that off and run that in my crease. So starting over here, right there, as you can see there is color on the brush, I'm just going to work that into my crease. So if you're watching this and you have hooded eyes, you've come to the right place. So I have hooded eyes, and what I like to do, I say this every single video, but what I like to do is push the color towards the front of my eyebrows so that you can see it when my eyes are open. So I'm just going to blend that, blend that, blend that, and I think I'll flick it out slightly, so you can just ever so slightly just do a little circle over here, circle at an angle, and then blend it. Let me show you from a different angle. So circles, you can do this, you can do circles, you can do whatever motion of blending works best for you. To go in with the shade over here, just so that my eyeshadow is a little bit darker so that it's seen more clearly on camera. You by all means do not have to use 3 colors. I'm literally just adding this color because y'all ain't gonna see what I'm gonna do. So with that color, I'm going to run it in the crease very, very slightly. If you can see that, just very, very slightly, just placing that color and then pressing a little harder. Again, you do not have to do this step if if the color that you chose works for you. I just felt that the eyeshadow that I started with, well, the eyeshadow that I started with did not pick up on camera as dark as I thought it would. And because I use natural light, it just kind of fades into my skin color. So just the darker brown, I'm just going to blend out that eye. I'm again. Oh, that's just like, oh no, it's fine. Okay, so now that your brush is wet, I'm going to go into this gold shimmer over here. And the reason why I'm wetting my brush for this specific shade is because this palette's shimmer is not as pigmented as I would like it to be. Ooh, friend, we need a mirror. So just following where my eye socket is, I'm just going to cover this area. So basically the open area where your eyeshadow hasn't touched. I like to look down into my mirror to see where the shimmer needs to sit properly. And take your time to make sure that your shimmer shade is even and there aren't any sparse places on your lid, and you can kind of pat towards the end to make sure it kind of blends in with that eyeshadow, so it's not too prominent and it's not too overbearing. Can you see that? For no, friend. And that is it for the eye look, besides mascara, which we are about to jump into. So a really nice brand for mascaras is Essence. Essence has some really good mascaras. I don't know why my voice does that. So this is just a fancy wand, and I'm just going to look into my mirror over there that I can't really see clearly because I don't have my glasses on, and I don't know why I'm acting like I have 20/20 vision. Looking down, I'm just coating my top lashes, and surely I'm sure you guys know how to do mascara. That was the first thing I was taught by my mom. My mom grew up in the generation where mascara and eye pencil was the bomb. These are both NYX products. This is the soft matte lip cream in London, and this is the lip liner in brown. I feel like everyone has this combination. This was the second soft matte lip cream that I got. Really like the color. I feel like it's a really good nude for my skin tone. Let me get a mirror. So I like to line my lips. You don't have to do this. You really don't. Like, I feel like the unnecessary step that I have is lip liner, but it's a personal preference of mine, and I just recently got into overlining my lips. Make sure you get equal borders, and do not speak when you are lining your lips like I am. I'm just speaking because I want you guys to understand what I'm doing. And then you can go in with some lip product, and then usually I have to go in again with lip liner because I speak when I'm doing lip liner, and my borders are normally not equal. Alright. And I will be using my I will be using my Ophira highlighter in Rodeo Jive, and I'll be using this foundation brush to apply my highlighter because I feel like doing that. So I didn't really cover brushes in this video, but to be honest, I don't have an array of brushes I can actually talk about for you guys that I feel you should have in your makeup bags. But something I definitely say that you should purchase is a beauty sponge, because I feel like if you are starting out, that is really going to help you and make you feel the most at ease about, because it's really easy to work with. Not so easy to clean though, but it's easy to work with, and it's a lot cheaper than a brush. So just running that on the high points of my cheeks. I use a different brush, but this brush is flat, so I feel like I can do this. I usually use a fan brush, which you can also use for highlighting if you have one. Should I? Okay, I'm gonna highlight my inner corners and my brow bone, which I didn't do. So, oh, that's a lot. So I like, sometimes if I want to fix my makeup, I go in with my hands. It doesn't, especially if it's a powder product, nothing is really going to move. If it's a liquid product, you should not use your hands. That's just what I do. Especially if my highlighter is a bit much. Like it is on my chin. I don't know why I went in with so much highlight on my chin. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. I will be linking my most recent YouTube video, which is a chit chat kiddy with me, where I talk about all things social media, as well as a simple and easy glam makeup tutorial, which I'll be linking right over here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this look and this video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!